We're on.
We're on.
And we're back. Woohoo!
Yes, we are number 57.
Well, that's a good number.
You think so?
57 was a good year for cars. Heinz 57.
Oh, yeah.
Good number. You know, I'm nostalgic like that.
Okay.
Well, we're the Wildflowers, and I'm Judy.
I'm Carol.
I'm Peggy.
And we are here again.
On a Friday.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, a gloomy kind of looking Friday.
It's a very November day, except for it isn't cold enough to be
Yeah,
a
I'm
November
okay
day.
for that.
No, I am too.
Yeah, I'm
but,
good with that.
I like
you
a
know,
little chill.
But the gray, it's kind of
Very
like
gray, yes.
gray and damp.
Yes, the whole day has been just so overcast.
Yes.
But what do you ladies have? I know we have a lot to talk about.
Oh my
What would you
gosh.
like to talk about first?
Well, I guess it makes sense that the election was this week, and
Yes,
the
it
results
was,
were
yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, they were okay. They were hopeful.
Thank you, Ohio. Well
Yes,
done,
yes.
voters of Ohio.
I know.
I love this.
I know.
And Ohio is a very Republican.
It's very red now.
You
It
know,
used to be a
state.
swing state,
Kinda,
but
yeah,
now
it used
it's
to be
very
purple.
red.
Now it's red, but you know, and
you know what? It's an issue for everybody. It's
Absolutely.
not Republican or Democrat. It's an issue for families and especially for women that we need to have autonomy
Right.
over our own bodies.
Absolutely.
So whether you're a Republican or not.
But it's just crazy
or-
that the Republicans are using this as their issue, you
Yeah,
know, and
yeah.
meanwhile most of the Americans don't
Yeah.
want any
Well,
restrictions.
now the
like this.
Republicans are suffering because they worked so hard to overturn Roe,
Yeah.
and now it happened, and now
Nobody
they're suffering
wanted that.
for it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, in a general election, I was reading about it, and they said, like, yeah, it's fine. Like, you know, people in local elections, you know, the smaller ones, will, you know, vote for those propositions. But in a general election, particularly a presidential one, they're going to vote on the economy. So Biden and the Democrats have to tout what they're doing because the Republicans are just saying how horrible the economy is, and it's not.
Right.
It's getting better. Inflation is only 2% now, and it's going down, but
people,
that happens slowly.
People say, "Oh, you know, I went to the grocery store. Everything's so much higher. The gas is higher." Like they.
That's price glutting.
Exactly.
That's my belief, is that these companies don't want to give up the huge profits that they made during the pandemic.
Well, that's, you know, a reason why some of these larger unions have been striking against. Like we had
Yes.
finally had the settlement
Yeah.
with the auto union.
Yes, and with the actors,
as
the
well as
writers.
I mean, because their profits were going up and the
Yeah.
workers' profits were
Yeah, I know.
workers'
Well, stagnant.
wages
Yeah, the
were
wages
staying
were
the same.
stagnant.
So
yeah.
yeah, there needs to be a change there. Across
It's so
the board.
funny you mentioned the actors and the writers because part of the contract, because it just the Actors Guild they passed it and this Writers Guild, but in that contract it has the AI actors must
Right,
be human beings, and the same with writers.
That
Writers
is
must.
so important.
I'm
I know,
so
that's a
relieved
big,
to
I
hear
know.
that.
And the streaming part of it too. Like the streaming with the actors, they weren't getting paid
Oh, yeah.
for all
Right.
these.
And so now
Yeah.
you'll have these
That's
episodes
right.
appear on
Yeah.
Hulu or Netflix,
Right.
and they weren't getting any money for
Yeah,
it.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's kind of exciting.
So good for them. They stuck it out. Fran Drescher.
Yes.
What a strong,
I know.
an example of a strong, determined woman.
Absolutely.
Would you
Smart
have
and
ever thought she would?
no, not from the
And
role
it's
that she
important.
played.
Right. I would have thought that to be. I would have thought she was tough,
Yeah.
but I was very impressed with her. Very impressed with the unions. With the unions for all of the strikes. Like,
That's right. Yeah.
again, support your unions, please.
Yes, absolutely.
They built the
Yeah.
middle class.
They sure did.
Yes, indeed.
And they can rebuild it again.
Exactly.
Joe Manson
I
is
was
going to
wondering.
be.
I was wondering if we were going to talk about that. Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, it kind of worries me if he runs for president. He's just
Exactly.
he's not going to take votes away from Trump, because the people who like Trump like Trump. He will get Republican votes, because I think in his heart he is a Republican.
Yeah.
But he's going to take votes away from Biden, which, I mean, if Joe Manchin could get in there and become president, which I don't think he can at this point, and beat, and, you know, get the nomination, like go up against Biden,
Right.
I wouldn't mind having him, even though,
But that's not what I don't think he's going to do.
no, he'll probably run as an independent,
This
or
is what
he's
Mitch
trying to form his own
McConnell has
little
been
party.
working
That's
to
what,
do.
yeah.
Mitch McConnell has been aiming
Yeah.
for this and trying to encourage him to do this
To step
for a
over.
very
Well, he
long
wants
time.
him to be part of the Republican
Yeah.
Party.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a little
But then
dangerous.
There's a house, so
Yeah.
I mean, but what's more also dangerous,
I know,
regardless, is that seat will probably go to a Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's
Yeah.
control.
Especially in West Virginia. That's a
Absolutely.
very
It
red
annoys
state.
me that he's doing this now. It's just very frustrating.
So, you know,
I know.
anyway, so I know there's a lot to
Well,
talk
no,
about.
something
Yeah.
else with the elections is that the Central Park 5 member, he won New York
I
City
saw that, yeah.
Council.
Yeah,
and
I know, I
he's
saw that.
I don't have my glasses, Salams.
Yeah.
His victory comes 2 decades after DNA used to overturn the mistaken conviction in the 1989 rape case. And you know what? Trump took out a full-page ad
Yep.
to say those boys
Death penalty,
that
right?
deserved the death penalty. And that was, they weren't even tried yet.
I
They
know.
weren't even, and this is the man that wants to be president.
Oh,
But I am so glad that he
Yeah.
made it to the New York City
Congrats.
Council, and good for him.
I
Congratulations.
just want to say one more political thing because it really, really annoys me in the Republican debates that all these people who are running against him supposedly are all for him. Like they all raised the hand the last time. Who, if you don't get the nomination,
Well,
will you vote for Trump?
correction.
Except for Chris
Christie.
didn't.
Yeah, Chris
And
Christie
and
did.
all of them, none of them will speak out against
Yes.
him. They're all bashing each other,
Yeah.
and they all need to go after Donald Trump.
Well,
they
not
are
only that,
puppets.
not only that, Donald Trump is not respectful to the
No.
American people because he should be up on
Absolutely.
that
No,
stage
he
with
has
them.
he can't stand the fire because
Right.
he doesn't have an agenda. That's his problem.
Right,
If
right.
anybody asks him that,
Right, no, he doesn't. It's just that, we're crooked, but it's everybody else's fault.
Did you watch the Republican debates?
no, I do. I watch it
Okay.
afterwards,
Yeah.
and I saw Ramaswamy, going after
No,
Nikki
I
Haley, and
did watch
Nikki
it.
Haley screaming
Okay.
at him, and
So what did you think?
Obviously, they are, with the exception of Christie, all supportive of Donald Trump. But what struck me, and this is funny, I kept it to myself because my girls were in the room, and I try not to get to, but they were watching it too. They actually, I said, we could change it. They're like, no, let's watch it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Good for
okay.
them.
What they picked up, and I was so impressed, was the rhetoric, the rhetoric that they used that was so inflammatory against Palestinians. They were
wow.
conflating Palestinians with Hamas.
oh,
And
wow.
and
Mistake.
my girls picked up and were like, wait a minute, Hamas isn't
Good
all
for
Palestinian.
them.
No,
And I
it's
go,
a terrorist.
right, and I
group.
said, you know what, girls? I said, you probably picked up on that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people here watching it who are adults probably don't
Right.
pick up on what
Right.
they're doing. And they should be ashamed
Exactly.
of themselves
Yep.
for
Yeah.
using rhetoric like that.
Uh-huh.
And I said, if my 14-year-olds could pick up on that, I'm really hoping the
Yeah.
adults watching that paid attention, because this is evident of their character. If they are
Yeah.
using this inflammatory hate
That's right.
against a whole body,
Yeah.
then what are they going to do when they get into power?
Well, it's
Yeah.
funny that you mentioned, your girls picked up on that because they're educated. They have parents that discuss things with them. But did you know that 130 million Americans, 54% adults, can have a reading level below the equivalent of a 6th grader, and that's where we're at in our country. And that,
right now.
yeah,
That makes
that's,
me want to drink.
Oh well.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know what? It happens that Peggy's.
I
turn
did
at the
bring a
bar.
bottle of wine this
And
time.
she-
Usually we
Oh,
don't drink.
Peggy, please
I'm
be a better
begging
one.
you. Well, I don't know. I've never had this one, but I'm not telling you anything about the wine. You guys are going to be something
I'm not
else.
so good at this part, but
Okay.
we'll
We
try.
rely on you for the. Oh, it looks.
It
The
looks
color's
like-
interesting.
It's like a medium.
Yes.
Medium bodied. It's okay. I mean,
I'm gonna
to
put
my
my
eye, anyway,
glasses
but what do
on for
I
this
know?
And if anybody sees a little stain on my shirt over here, when I pulled the cork to throw away.
This has really good
Oh,
legs. This has really good legs.
She's got legs.
Oh, okay.
She knows how to use them.
I think we should toast because also in a few
We gotta
days the
smell
government shutdown is
yeah, something
in the
else.
works. And what do we want to bet again? Is this government?
I think it's, I don't know, I think it's gonna shut down
So do I.
because
There is no
they're not,
plan yet.
they
and
didn't pull anybody together.
There's
Right,
a
right.
72-hour rule where they have to give the opposite
chance
house a
to-
chance
to
to read
read
it,
it.
and there's nothing put forth yet.
I know.
Are we supposed to say the aroma first?
Yeah, smell.
Oh,
Okay, let me hide the card.
okay.
Yeah, I like my
And
ones.
you
I
guys,
pick up.
Can I taste it now?
No, let's
Oh.
smell it
well,
first.
smell it first. What do you smell?
I smell. I don't
Oh.
know. What do I know? Peppermint.
I think
don't
it
know.
smells
Wow,
nice.
peppermint. That's
I-
interesting.
I know. I don't usually, but that's what I'm picking up. I don't know that.
I'm smelling berries.
Yeah, like a raspberry. I'm smelling
Maybe,
raspberry.
Yes, I can smell that.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think we've ever had. This is weird. I don't like violet. I don't know violet, and that was,
Wow.
I don't know where that coming from.
That was the name of my cat.
That's right. That's maybe your cat
I
is.
love that cat.
All right,
Too
so-
violet.
I think Carol's been going to wine classes.
No.
Okay.
All right. So
All right.
do we toast and then taste?
Yeah, let's toast.
Okay, toast.
So toast to the government not shutting down.
Oh, I don't know.
Cilantro.
And
And can we taste now?
Now we're gonna taste,
Okay.
so you wanna see what's on the palate. What are you tasting?
well, it's not at all what I thought. It tastes.
It's very light.
I feel. Yeah. I feel like. Is there cherry in this?
It could be cherry.
Some spice. Peggy, did you try a Long Island wine again? Are you tricking us?
Carol, what are you taking fucking classes?
Wait, really?
It's
I-
very light, Peggy.
Do
You
think
know
it's
what?
a-
Take another sip and let it roll on the back of your tongue.
I feel like she's
I
doing a
will.
Long Island wine because she probably felt bad because we butchered the last one so bad. I don't know. I could be wrong. What do I know?
Well, how about the finish?
It's got a smooth finish to me.
The more I sip it, the more I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind. This
It's
one
got
is,
that-
It's 100% better than the one. If it is a Long Island, I feel like it's.
I'm not a fan.
I feel
No?
really. I
Okay.
feel like it's a.
I'm sorry.
What do you think? I
I
feel
don't know.
like.
It's like water to me.
Oh wow, she
Well,
wants
see,
something.
I don't think so.
I think it's very
Right.
light.
Compared to the one that I.
Well, I know the one last. It's better than
That
the
was
one last
terrible.
week. I didn't
Yeah.
like that one at all.
Right.
I mean, I'll drink this, but it's like the other one offended me. Like when I drank that one, like I was.
We were
this
all
one-
offended. I
this
watched something.
It's very watery
Yeah.
to me. This.
Oh, I feel like. But see, I don't know if I. It's light, but I feel like it's in the Cabernet family, and I don't know why. No, you don't think so? Cabernet.
If it is,
not
I'd be
so-
surprised.
Cabernet Franc, maybe. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, it's very watery to me. What is it?
I have to tell you something. She nailed every single freaking one.
Get
Are
the
you
hell out of
kidding
here.
me? Is it Cabernet? No,
It's a Long Island Cabernet Franc.
Oh my gosh.
My classes have been working.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm not. It's not
And
Cabernet.
she smelled violet and peppermint. It's in there. You missed white pepper and raspberry. You got them all.
Wow.
She hit me.
And cherry, red cherry, and spicy. And you said spicy too.
I don't think it's spicy, but I mean, what do I
Spicy
know?
undertones
But it's-
and a smooth,
but what-
energetic finish.
Is it a Long Island wine?
It's a Long Island wine.
Hell out of here. No.
Did you look at her nose before this?
How much would
No, I
how
did
much?
not look at her notes. No. All right, if it's a Long Island wine,
It's going to be expensive because it's a Long Island wine. So I'm thinking,
This is my sock.
okay, I'm going to say $19.99.
Okay.
see, I'm on the fence because if she got a total wines, it's going to be cheaper than like if she got.
I can't even read that. What is that?
It's Pellegrini. Pellegrini, Long Island Cabernet
Franc.
Franc.
I don't know if I've ever had that before.
2018.
Okay.
And and it is in Total Wine. It was $20.99.
But it's like 30
Oh,
something
so it was like a
hours.
dollar.
In the
off.
Vineyard, $32.99.
I'm sorry,
She's
but
the new sommelier.
I'm the new son.
oh gosh, now look at the pressure's on to me.
Yeah.
I know, really.
I don't have a very good sense of smell anyway.
So at what point should we tell Judy?
Just tell Judy that we cheated.
We cheated. I know nothing about
I
it.
said, let's trick Judy, and I gave her all the information for
You
the
are
wine.
so mean. I'm like, what's that?
That would have been a good April Fool's joke.
I know.
Violet, who can speak that?
I know.
Oh my god, you guys
But
are
you know
awful.
what? I like it.
Do you?
I do like it. It's,
You
it's
like it?
actually
Yeah.
not light. It's a
Yeah.
medium bodied.
I think it's light. To me, this would be light.
The color is
the
light.
color is
If
light.
you hadn't told me it was medium, I probably would have said it was light.
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I'm not
Yeah.
crazy like
No,
that. It
no.
is. It.
See what we did? We
They're so mean to me.
mean.
And I bought them Barnbrack too that I
Yeah.
made. Ah,
I like it. I'm gonna
And
have more.
other food too.
I
you
call
know.
that. Really, I don't. I mean, I'll drink it, but it's not as bad as Pindar where we had to like
Well,
get it off the table.
Yeah, the Pindar was terrible.
But this one is just when I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, look how light the color is.
It's
We're
like
still
water.
talking about the Pinto.
Yeah, I know. We never. Do you want some more?
Sure, we were traumatized by
We
that.
were
I
traumatized.
had to
Well,
go
it's
home and drink
horrible when you have a
Banter.
bottle of wine and you don't even want to drink
I
it.
had to go home and drink Banter. Get it out of my mouth.
I know. It was really, really
Oh.
bad. Well, it's Pellegrini, you said.
It's Pellegrini, Long Island,
Have you
from
ever
the
been to
North
that
Fork.
winery?
I think I
I don't know
have.
if I have.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I don't think I've had this.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So how many wildflowers?
This is unfiltered wine. I wonder
Oh.
if that has something to do
I don't
with.
know. I'd give this
Oh,
a
that's-
2.5.
Oh,
wow.
really?
It's not.
I would give it. I would give it. I would give it a 4.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Really?
3.75 or 4.
I would give it. Let me take another taste.
I don't.
They're in Cutchogue.
I don't like it.
I
Well, I'm very sorry to disappoint you.
I would give it 3.5
Okay.
wildflowers.
There you are.
So, and the alcohol content is
I think it was 13 and a half.
Okay. And when I want to
13%.
have a Cabernet,
Okay.
I like it to. I like
A
it
good
to be like
full-bodied.
very full. And so that this is just.
Well, this is
I was
Cabernet
thinking it might
Franc.
have been a Pinot Noir. That's what I was thinking, but I didn't. Get to
yeah,
say
you know what?
The color is
Yeah,
kind of like
yes.
Yeah,
noir.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Cabernet
have.
Franc. Where were you pulling that out of? I was like, something was fishy here.
We played it pretty well.
Yeah, we did.
You
We
did,
played
you
it
did.
pretty well.
I know she's on the phone with me last night. She goes, "Okay, we can't do it this way. We got to do that." I was like, "Yeah, this is how we're gonna do it."
Awful. I'll get
well.
you back.
Of course, yeah, pay
I'm
back.
sure you will.
Yeah, but we'll laugh.
Okay,
We'll laugh.
so now we're gonna do a bookie.
Yes,
And
I'm
it's
okay.
my book.
Bookie.
I've been looking forward to doing this one for a while. It's my book, and I'm going to talk about The Weaver and the Witch Queen.
Oh, this is the one you said that I would like.
You will love this book, Peggy. It's a new release. It came out. The author is Genevieve Gornichec. She's got another book out, which I didn't read it, called The Witch's Heart, but I heard it was very
Okay.
good. This is from Penguin. It's Ace Berkeley, an imprint of Penguin Random House LLC.
Okay.
This book has everything in here. I devoured this book. The whole I mean, it took me a couple of days probably to read this book.
Oh wow.
I couldn't put it down. It was that good. It's got magic, but not a lot of magic. This is more like a historical novel. I would say it's set in the 900s in Norway. And
okay.
it has 3 strong female characters. 2 of them are sisters. That's Odny and Signy. And then they have a friend who is Gunhild. They call her Gunny. And they've been friends since they were very little. But you first meet them when they're about 12 years of age in this novel. And they, do everything together. They have 2 different family situations, whereas the sisters, Adi and Signy, have a very kind of loving family. Gunny's family is very colder, more reserved, and the mother could be, I think, borderline a bit neglectful as well, And so you've got an underlying of magic. You've got royalty, war, conflict. You've got mystery, drama. Like it's like,
that sounds like my kind of.
oh my God, you've got everything in this book, and you know it gripped me fast. And these women are thrown together as kids too, as I said, but they're bound, inextricably tied together for the rest of their lives, for better or for worse, and that's predicted by Osiris when they're 12 years of age, and how they're going, and they do go their separate ways, but they are throughout kind of thrown back in, and there's this epic quest that happens. And I don't want to get, if I say so much, I can't,
Right,
like, I'm trying really hard not to give it away. But you know, their paths intersect and weave in ways that are not expected, that are not intended. But all in all, there's this bond, you know, even in the bad times and the good times, that just is not gonna break. And it's such a quest, and what I liked about it is, because I didn't really read much about Vikings and, you know, in this kind of genre, there's a lot of historical references about, you know, people and how things were done, like raids and banquets and all of that, which it colors your imagination as you're reading it, that you feel like you're right there. She writes that very well. And so I mean, I always like things that are a little magical, kind of like the book I sent, The Rain Heron, you know.
I like a little magic in my books.
And I don't want it to be like Harry Potter magic. Although I liked Harry Potter, you know, but it has just a little bit of it, like The Rain Heron, which kind of colors this through, and you're like, oh, it's amazing, and it's a gem. It's an absolute gem. I would highly recommend this book. I hope I didn't babble too much.
No, how many wildflowers?
I'd give this a 5. Look, I wrote it here. 5 wildflowers. I said, you know,
She drew.
I drew wildflowers. I did, because I loved. Really
I'm gonna have to borrow that.
Here, you take it.
Thank you.
It's really good, and if you get it at Barnes and Noble like I did, hardcovers are always on sale. You know, and so that's where I bought it, and I'm so glad I did. I'm gonna read it.
And what drew you to the book? Was it the cover?
Yes, actually the cover. If you look really close, it looks like an actual tapestry.
Yeah, so it does.
It's
got the textured look.
Yes, and I was looking, and then you flip open the cover and you read the inside of it, and right away I was like, oh this is so gonna be my book.
Oh, so you read the book?
I read the book jacket.
Yeah, I always do too.
Oh, she's such a young looking.
She's a young writer, you know, but she's talented, and I'm looking forward to reading her first book and more from her if she writes.
Cool. Well, awesome. Congratulations. It's so nice to be excited about.
You'll read it so quick. Oh yeah, yes.
That's
I'm reading a really good one now, which I will the next time I have a book. Well, not the next time, but the time after that. I'm really loving it. It's actually the book that John Duff gave to me.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the damn book. This was her first book.
No, that wasn't. No, The Witch's Heart.
Oh, The Witch's Heart.
Yeah, Sherlock. Hey, no. Quiet.
Well, it's my turn, the subject, and since this is going to air the weekend just prior to Thanksgiving, I thought we would talk about Thanksgiving, and it's been funny because I saw you posted a picture of the drawings or the artwork that your kids
girls'
did.
artwork.
From over the years.
I love that. I save them.
I have the handprint turkey one from one of my kids.
I do it for Christmas as well, and Halloween.
Right.
You know, it's a way to keep them memories going.
Oh, absolutely. Well, when I was in school, you know, that was our way we learned about Thanksgiving. It was just the Indians, the Pilgrims, and they ate together, and it was just a wonderful, you know, bonding, and it was a beautiful thing. Not knowing that we were being fed nonsense, because it was just nonsense. So I thought I would talk about some of the things that we were taught.
Okay.
And that we were taught wrong. So friendly Indians welcome the Pilgrims to America and teach them how to survive here and sit down together. So that's what we were taught, okay? So then we are to believe that Indians basically hand off America to white people so that they can create a Christian nation.
Yeah, no, that's not what happened.
No, and that is difficult to believe when you know the history and, you know, you see how the Indians were treated and what we did to them. It's just, it's just horrible. But let's remember why the 100 or so pilgrims came to America anyway. Now, you know why, right?
It was religious persecution.
Yes.
Right, well, to seek,
The Puritans.
yes, to religious freedom. And every British citizen was expected to attend the Church of England. And those who didn't were punished by the state. One group of farmers in northern England, known disparagingly as the Separatists, began to worship in secret, knowing full well that it was treasonous. So they sought a new place to live, so then they came to America and claimed it basically as their own. They claimed it like,
You're here, it belongs to us now.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
the American way.
Right. That it is actually, yeah.
So for quite a long time, English people had been celebrating Thanksgivings that didn't involve feasting, which I didn't realize, but they
I'm
involved
curious.
fasting.
What, English people?
English people that had been celebrating, people that came, they involved fasting and prayer and supplication to God.
Oh, okay.
As is usually the case, there's more to that story. Yeah. So it's as though history doesn't begin for Native people until the Europeans arrive here. They were here, and this is one thing that I have a pet peeve about when people to this day say to the people from other countries, go back to your home, go back, like they can claim this as their own.
Right.
And the only people that can really claim America as their own is the Native Americans. We are all,
We're all immigrants.
we are all immigrants, exactly.
Somewhere down the line.
And you
Yeah.
heard a lot about, I don't want to
No,
say
go ahead.
research,
No.
but on the exit polls, I saw, at least in Long Island, a lot of people were saying the biggest issue was immigrants.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Immigration. And
Well-
it's like, to your point, it's like, we're all immigrants.
Exactly.
Yeah, all of us are.
And we tend to forget that.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a big difference if you're a white immigrant
Yes.
or a brown or Hispanic. If you speak English, that's, all these.
That's a very good
Well,
point.
Long Island is very, very right now. It's
Yeah.
sickening.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Suffolk
Yeah.
is all Republican
Yeah.
now too. But anyway,
So the people had been in the Americas, the Native had been in Americas for 12,000 years, and according to some Native traditions, since the beginning of time. And having history start with the English is a way of dismissing all that. So when we, I know when I was a kid and my kids were in school and everything, it just was so washed over. It just, and I never questioned it.
No, well, you're a kid, and that's what
Right.
you're
You're
learning
just
in
being
school.
taught that.
Like
Yes.
Christopher Columbus was his hero, and
yes.
and he committed genocide.
Yeah.
So
And it does make me wonder, did people really know the truth and just didn't want to teach us, like what we're trying to be so cautious
those
now?
people probably learned the same things that they were teaching us.
Right, and they're getting their material. Teachers are getting their materials
From the
too.
tech, yeah.
From
They have
those STEM
curriculums. That's right. This is
curriculums
what I have to teach you.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and those curriculums are set, by
Yeah.
school boards and those are politicians.
That's right. It's all the
and
state. It's all set by the
absolutely.
state.
Yeah, and it's just, again, we can't be so gentle and afraid to speak the truth. And we have to learn from it. So in the
Be
late...
curious.
That's right, be curious.
It's my phrase lately.
In the late 1600s, I don't know if I can pronounce this, Wampanoag
Wampanoag.
leader,
Also making
and I apologize
Starts
because
with an O.
that's my stupid.
OUSAMEQUIN.
So they reached out to the. No, that's good. Okay, they reached out to the English at Plymouth and wanted to make an alliance with them, but it's not because he was innately friendly. It's because his people had been decimated by an epidemic disease, and the Osakamakrian sees the English as
the big O.
Yeah, the big O. Sees the English as an opportunity to fend off his tribal rebels. It was known as the King Philip's War, or the First Indian
Yes.
War. So then jump to 1769, a group of Pilgrim descendants who lived in Plymouth felt like their cultural authority was slipping away. Poor people.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah.
That's
Although
sad.
everybody, all the white men in this country feel.
Exactly.
Exactly.
When I read
The
that,
Republican Party feels that way.
And they felt that way too. Well, this is all throughout our history too.
Yep.
There was-
no.
Things
Yeah.
haven't changed very much.
No,
No, it
exactly.
just
When I
a
was-
role reversal.
Yeah.
Look what went on before the Civil Rights Act. When that was the Democratic Party. All of this.
Yeah.
It was
Absolutely.
because they felt threatened.
So they ended up
Poor
planting
men.
these
You poor
seeds.
men.
Poor
How
men.
sad
Poor
for
white
you.
men.
I know.
Yeah, they started to plant the seeds of this idea that the Pilgrims were the fathers of America.
Our
I mean-
forefathers.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. Good point. Absolutely. I mean, it's just like. So what really made it the story is that a publication mentioning that dinner published by the Reverend Alexander Young included a footnote that said, "This was the first Thanksgiving, the great festival of New England." And so people picked up on that footnote, and the idea became pretty widely accepted, and Abraham Lincoln declared it a holiday during the Civil War to foster unity. However, which I have in capitalization, some sites say that is not true, but that George Washington issued a proclamation to observe Thanksgiving to observe the adoption of the U.S. Constitution. Now, I don't know what's
When is-
true.
No, I have read that it's Lincoln, but now I'm curious.
Right.
Like, wouldn't there be records in
Yeah.
our
Exactly.
about
Yeah, yeah, and there would be a
like a
presidential, yeah.
proclamation
Yeah.
if George Washington
So-
issued it?
James
It's
Madison.
your homework, Peg.
Yeah,
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 I
there you
know.
go. Be curious.
I'm always curious.
James Madison also announced the observance of Thanksgiving in order to celebrate the end of the War of 1812. John Adams supported observing the holiday for general good fortune, but Thomas Jefferson refused to endorse the tradition when he declined to make a proclamation in 1801. For Jefferson, supporting the holiday meant supporting the state-sponsored religion, since Thanksgiving is rooted in Puritan religious traditions.
That's very true.
And I found that so, like, all of this, we have to research. I'm just reading, I did a lot of going back and forth and seeing what's true, what's not true. And it's really hard to verify a lot of it, but these are things that we just need to even just discuss, because when it comes down to it, the Native Americans are what we did to them is just,
It's not spoken about very
no,
often.
no,
No.
no. So in the late 19th century, when there was an enormous amount of anxiety and agitation over immigration, the white Protestant stock of the United States was widely unhappy about the influx of European Catholics. So it's not just color, whatever,
Yeah.
it's religion, and Jews, and wanted to assert its cultural authority over these newcomers. So they created this national founding myth around the Pilgrims and the Indians, inviting them to take over the land? ? So this myth making was also impacted by the racial politics of the late 19th century.
So they're teaching people that the Indians actually invited them
Yeah.
to take
Right.
over.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
The Great White Hope or
Yeah,
something.
Really, yeah. So it impacted the racial politics, and I'm not going to go into all this, but what's more, during Reconstruction, that Thanksgiving myth allowed the New Englanders to create this idea that bloodless colonialism in their religion was the origin of the country, having nothing to do with the Indian Wars and slavery. Americans could feel good about their colonial past without having to confront the really dark characteristics of it.
Yeah.
And like the two of you saying, we can blame school textbooks with details often abridged, softened, or out of context.
Right.
Totally. And that,
Well, you could blame the states because the textbooks, the state is the one that oversees what's in those textbooks
Yeah.
and what the curriculum is in all those school boards.
yeah, they redacted
Look
so
what
many-
they did in Florida. They just, and even
Yeah.
with the AP tests, like the
Oh
AP
my God.
exams for African Americans, and
Yeah. Yeah,
Despicable. Why anybody would ever want to live in Florida is beyond me.
I can't agree more.
Me three.
Florida and Texas.
Yeah, no, thank you. Sorry, guys, if you're watching us from either of those states. I'm sorry. Just sorry.
No, but it's a good. I'm glad you brought this up because it is something that hopefully people are more curious about. You know, I actually just bought a book at the bookstore too. It was similar. You know, about everybody talks about slavery in America. You typically associate that with African,
Right.
but they were Native American
Yes,
slaves.
yeah,
And this whole book, I said,
absolutely.
you know what? I don't know enough about this part, and nobody's really talking about it.
Yeah, well.
So I have this book. It's on my bedstand. That'll be the next one I kind of pick up.
Well, how about I give you guys a quiz?
Oh, please. Oh, I close this.
So what
I have my
happens
glasses on for
at
this one.
Coal Hill in Plymouth, Massachusetts every Thanksgiving?
Wait, you mean currently?
They probably reenact the first Thanksgiving.
Yes, they do.
It's a national day of mourning for Native Americans who died at the hand or plague of European settlers.
But they do a reenactment up there.
Oh,
as
I'm
well.
sure. I'm
Not
sure.
in Coles Hill, I
Oh,
guess.
okay,
so
They
Coles
just up
Hill.
in Texas, yeah.
Right, that's good. Okay. So why Thanksgiving is also a national day of mourning, it's important to know that for many Native Americans, Thanksgiving is a day of mourning and protest since it commemorates the arrival of settlers in
Yeah.
North America and the centuries of oppression and genocide that followed.
Yes.
So,
I can see that.
what bird was first suggested to be the national U.S. bird rather than the bald eagle?
Oh, I just
The
read
turkey.
about that. The wild turkey?
Benjamin Franklin in 1784 suggested the wild turkey
Yeah.
would be more
when I was doing the
appropriate.
thing about Benjamin Franklin, I did read
My
that.
boyfriend.
My
Actually, the girls
boyfriend
were-
then, but
we were
it
laughing
was
about that.
Oh, really?
Just today, actually. Yeah.
it was determined that the wild turkey was too ugly, right?
Oh, I didn't
I
say
think
that.
that's
I think
why.
they're beautiful.
Oh my, they're not so beautiful.
Oh, I love them. I think they are.
Because those silly and vain turkeys are more respectable birds and birds of courage. But whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so who was the first president to pardon a turkey?
Grover Cleveland.
Oh, I'm gonna say maybe it wasn't that far back.
I did not give her the answer, so we're not sure.
I can't trust you
We're not-
today.
we're not
I don't know.
I'm gonna
I'm
say
just
that it was Bill Clinton.
No, it was Truman.
Oh, okay.
He started the which I was surprised because I
Yeah.
was thinking it was soon, not that long ago. He started the presidential turkey pardon, which is still a tradition today. It is rumored, that Abraham Lincoln unofficially began this tradition. However, when he pardoned his son Tad's pet turkey.
Oh, yes, yeah, I read
Oh,
about
that's
that
nice.
somewhere too, yeah.
That's kind
I
of
like him more and
Yeah.
more. I'm reading a lot about him
That
lately.
Lincoln?
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm like,
Lincoln, I know.
I'm learning things I really didn't know about.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that one. That's
Well,
awesome.
there you go. So in 2007, President George W. Bush pardoned 2 turkeys named May and Flower, who were flown to Orlando
Who was this who pardoned
George W. Bush
Okay.
to serve as honorary grand marshals for the Disney World Thanksgiving Parade.
Oh.
So when was the tradition of watching football on Thanksgiving begin?
I don't know.
When did it
but
begin?
I rue that day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
me
hate
too.
football. When was the beginning of it?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say in the 1950s.
I'm going to
Yeah.
say somewhere in the 80s.
College football played on Thanksgiving has been a tradition since 1876.
Wow.
So I guess
wow.
it's very
The
ingrained.
NFL,
Yeah.
but you're thinking on TV.
On
as
TV,
as
yeah,
as
you're right,
always
you're right.
do.
Right, yeah, that's
The,
right.
the
yeah.
NFL joined the tradition in 1934 when the Detroit Lions took over on the Chicago Bears, blah, blah, blah. What department store first sponsored the Thanksgiving Day Parade?
Macy's.
Oh, Macy's or Gimbals.
Or was it
What is it going to be?
It's gotta be Gimbals.
I'll stick with Macy's. I love
Gimbals.
Yeah, I read about that once.
Oh, but I love you,
Philadelphia's
Macy's.
department store was actually the first to sponsor a Thanksgiving parade in 1920. Macy's followed suit 4 years later and soon became the parade associated with the Thanksgiving holiday. So the
Everything's
Macy's.
better at Macy's.
Are you hoping for sponsorship?
No, I just love Macy's. I do.
The Macy's parade became even more popular following the 1947 movie.
Oh, Miracle on 34th Street.
Street.
My favorite Christmas movie.
I love that movie.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I love the original.
And that was
Me
about a rivalry between
Gimbels
Gimbels and Macy's.
Yes, which I love the original. Oh,
Yeah, it's
Now
very
I gotta
good.
watch
Natalie Wood,
Oh,
a
she was
little
so
pretty
I
cute
know,
girl.
it's crazy.
It's a shame that she died so young.
I know.
yeah.
It's a shame that Robert Wagner murdered her. Let's have some more wine there, Peg.
Okay, so the Miracle on 34th Street actually showed actual footage of the parade the year prior. The Macy's Day Parade first had balloons in what year, do you think?
Okay, so that
Oh.
would have to be, I'm going to say
19
41.
Say it again.
Really?
41.
And when did it start, the Macy's parade?
Well, the Gimbels was
1920.
47, but, well, that was
that was-
Philadelphia. And then it's,
Oh.
4 years later,
So 51. So the first time to have, I'm gonna say 1952 in honor of my birth.
see, this is confusing because the answer is the Macy's Day Parade first had balloons in 1928.
Oh, that is
But,
confusing.
It became even more popular after the movie.
oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you for reading my
Okay.
notes because I missed that. Okay, which president officially made Thanksgiving the fourth Thursday of every November?
Ooh. I'm gonna say Eisenhower.
Nixon.
She's so young. She's so cute.
I don't know.
She's so cute.
I don't know.
FDR.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. When is Thanksgiving in Canada?
Oh, that's
that's the week before.
Oh, it's very close to
It's
it.
on my calendar all the
Yeah,
time.
it's-
Canadian Thanksgiving. I think it's the week before.
I'll take the week after. Let's see who's when.
The second Monday in October.
Oh, okay. I always see it on my calendar.
Yeah, and it's more low key than how we celebrate it here in most places. Okay, Black Friday isn't the only holiday the day after Thanksgiving.
That's not a holiday.
Well, that's what they call it. What's the other holiday?
The day after Thanksgiving?
Yeah, there's a holiday, apparently,
Uh,
which we should really probably make note of because it's deserving. I'm going to give all these hints.
Is it an Indian like
Yeah,
that? Yeah, it's
yeah.
The big Indian one. Ramadan. Is it Ramadan?
No, that's
No, Ramadan's is September. I think.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
National American Heritage Day.
Oh,
That's
if
what-
I was thinking
Ah.
a different
Yeah,
one. Okay.
All right, now this last one. What popular song's real title is the New England Boys song about Thanksgiving Day?
What pop?
What?
Say that again.
What popular song's real title is the New England Boys song about Thanksgiving Day? That's the title of the song. The New England Boys song about Thanksgiving Day.
I don't even understand that question.
Yeah, it's very, yeah, I
The
can't.
title of the song is the New England Boys
But you just said
Song-
what popular song title?
The
But then
real
you can't-
title is, and then there's another, we know
Oh.
it by a different name.
All right. So it's probably going to be.
You watch, Peggy's gonna start singing it when we know it.
Shit. Fabula. Is it a Christmas song?
I always sang it in school.
Chestnuts
No,
roasting.
no,
No.
no.
I don't know.
Mr. Turkey sat on
is
the
it,
backyard
Jingle
fence.
Bells?
No,
No.
no.
Over the river and through the woods, to grandmother's house we go.
That's right.
Yeah, and the words are like the horse knows the way to
Carry the sleigh in the wide and drifting snow. Over the river and through the woods, so how the winds does blow.
You know
It
all the
stings
words.
toes and bites the nose, while over the grounds we go.
Yep, so that's,
I still love that song, and it
Yeah.
is a Thanksgiving
know.
But
song.
I don't think we learned the whole song. in
No.
school.
No, we used to
No.
just sing that part.
I don't know these
Yeah.
words.
Yeah, so, and yeah, they spelled Merry Christmas with an A, M-A.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
And do you know that in England and Ireland they say Happy Christmas?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do know that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You hear that in movies too. But yeah.
Well, that was really good. Thank
So
you.
now- Quiz and
Well,
everything.
happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Yeah.
Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
everyone.
Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. I'm going to Delaware for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah? Oh, you are? You
I
finalized
am.
it.
I did. I
Well
called my
done.
sister election
see you.
today.
Oh, that's fun.
She's very happy.
So that
and
makes-
Nora said, because I spoke to her right before I left, she said, say hi to Judy and Carol for me.
Hi, Nora. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, indeed.
I'll be hosting.
Oh, you